Hello everybody, welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program video, and welcome to the perhaps craziest project I have ever done on the channel. This is a 1,000 seat SSTO that is going to take 1,000 Kerbals to Minmus and back. Oh my gosh. Without any refueling or mining or anything. Yeah, this thing is, this is probably the craziest project I've ever done in KSP. So I am just retracting those bottom fins just so we don't have any tail strikes on takeoff, and then we can get just all the nuclear engines fired up and we can start heading down this runway. We'll go into the time lapse so the FPS isn't as bad for you guys. And yeah, this thing is kind of nuts. Yeah, this is my 1,000 subscriber special video. So I figured, you know, what would be a great thing to do? Let's do a 1,000 seat SSTO. So, yeah, this thing took a while. That's why I haven't been uploading the last 2 days. I've been working on this guy and some other stuff I've been doing. So I'll talk about a little more in the video. Actually, I have a lot of stuff I want to talk to you guys about. So do stay tuned when you get into orbit. But right now, I want to talk about the SSTO itself. I have retracted the bottom fins, or unretract. I don't know. But the bottom fins are back out just because they provide yaw stability. This thing has major yawing problems for some reason. It's actually likely because the center mass and the center lift are very close together for this craft. So yeah, this thing is really likes to yaw. So that's why we have all the fins on this thing. We have 4 of those biggest tail fins in the back. Well, you know what? We have 2. We have you know, we really need 2, right? So we have 2 contingency ones just in case some fall off. That's definitely not a spoiler warning. That for sure doesn't happen. But either way, we are now accelerating up to 450 meters a second, just so the Rapier engines can get into their maximum thrust mode, or yeah, maximum thrust state, so we can actually start to accelerate further. This thing actually is really good at low speed, or really good at accelerating through that lowest speed bucket. This thing's actually the biggest problem with this thing on ascent is just keeping control of it, because it really likes to yaw and go crazy and stuff. But there you go, just made it through 450 meters a second, and now continuing to accelerate at a quick rate, or a faster rate, as we try to get ourselves into orbit. Probably the most annoying thing about this craft was because of how massive it is and how low my frame rate is, the physics run really slow for this craft. So basically, every attempt I have to make at getting into orbit takes like a half hour. So like if I get up almost to orbit and then I screw something up, or the plane flips out, or don't have enough delta V, that's like just a half hour gone. That's why this thing took forever. It is, oh, I'm so glad to be done with it. But yeah, so we're now through 800 meters a second, crossing 6 kilometers, and now just starting to get some heating or some aerodynamic something. As we continue to power through. This thing is actually really good at flying. This thing is really quite impressive. I'm actually really happy how it came out. I have my friend who helped a lot on this thing, so kudos to him. His name is a Bigger Bear on my Discord. You know, link in the description, right? I actually have something I want to talk about on the Discord, so stay tuned, right? So we passed 10 kilometers, or we're way above 10 kilometers now, but we have flattened out my ascent profile just so I can gain as much speed as possible with the Rapier engines, because 10 to 20 kilometers in altitude is about the most efficient point for the Rapiers, where you know, they still have a lot of thrust coming out of them, but there's not a lot of drag generated by the air, obviously, at that high of an altitude. So it's a really good place to try and gain some speed. As we cross 15 kilometers here, I'm just going to get ready to fire up my nuclear engines, just to give us a little bit of extra thrust so the Rapiers aren't doing all the work. And there go the nuclears as we continue to accelerate, as the flames are starting to get very red. None of those Kerbals look very amused. Well, hopefully they get a little more amused as we get a little bit higher up, and they're kind of smiling, right? Now we are just trying to fly pretty darn flat to get the last little bit of speed out of the Rapiers. We come to about 1470 meters a second. I get, I believe, just about under 1,500 meters a second with the Rapier, so pretty good speed. This thing is quite aerodynamic. The fairing in the front is actually very helpful. There used to be a Mark III cockpit there, and this thing would just not, it wouldn't work. So that fairing is actually very helpful. We cross 20 kilometers now on our ascent, and we can get ready to fire up the closed cycle mode on the Rapiers, which is obviously the rocket mode, so it's going to be burning liquid fuel and oxidizer instead of liquid fuel and just the intake air. And there it goes into jet engine rocket mode as we pitch the aircraft up to try and get our app WAP set to about 90 kilometers. We only have a limited amount of oxidizer on this craft, so once the oxidizer runs out, we're going to have to do the rest of the orbital insertion with the nuclears, and that is very long. The nuclears have like a burn time of 45 minutes on them to drain all the fuel, and we use like most of that. This thing is, yeah, as you can imagine, it's pretty close in the Delta V department, because we're trying to get 1,000 Kerbals out to Minmus. Ah, jeez. There we go, it's crossing 30 kilometers. We've used about just under half of the oxidizer available to us, as I'm trying to get as much speed as possible with the oxidizer mode of the Rapier engines, and after that they're just going to become dead weight for the rest of the mission, which is kind of sad, but you know, that's just how SSTOs work. You can't stage them away. Although technically SSTO only says single stage to orbit, so I could have just sneaky just got into orbit. I'm like, oh, I mean, look, I technically did it, and I just like stage away a bunch of stuff, and then I go out to Minmus, and I'm like, you know, I never said single stage to Minmus, right, guys? Ha ha ha! Get something. I don't know. That'd be a really lame thing to do. Because I think there's a generally agreed upon thing when I say SSTO to Minmus, that means single stage to Minmus and back, right? But yeah, nevertheless, we are now in the Rapier burning mode, as I can retract those bottom fins, because they're really not doing anything but providing a drag at this point, because we're in space now, so they're unimportant. And also, we can't have them extended when we land on Minmus, or else they'll kind of just like break off. So that's the theory behind that. As we accelerate, this thing is horrible thrust-to-weight ratio. So we just burn for absolute ages. Like, I have to do my Minmus burn, my like Kerbal injection, my trans Minmus inject, whatever it's called. That burn in like, I believe it's 4 burns. It's crazy how long it takes, because I can only do like 150 meters a second. Or 200 meters a second, maybe. I think it's closer to 250 actually at a time, just because of how low my thrust to weight ratio is, because this thing wouldn't be able to do it, because you know, you start to drop in the atmosphere and you lose efficiency, no birth effect, right? So yeah, we're getting into orbit now, and now we're transitioning into the boring part of the mission, where it's just a bunch of burns at periaps to get out to Minmus. And I'm actually glad we have a little bit longer of a boring part today, because I have some interesting stuff I want to talk to you guys about. So let's see, where do we start? So first of all, 1,000 subscribers. You know, what's going on with that, guys? I guess that's kind of the elephant in the room. Thank you guys very much. That was very nice of you guys to do that. 1,000 people are subscribed, and we're still growing. And I haven't uploaded in the last 2 days because I've been working on this thing, and I've still been getting subscribers. So you know what, you guys are great. Like, this is really insane. Like, I got like 50 subscribers the day I hit 1,000. Like, it just exploded my subscriber count. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, just got so many subs. You guys are just amazing. And everyone, you know, I could list. I have like, there's about 10, 15, 20 regulars that I have on the channel. I could probably list everyone. The reason I'm not gonna like list names is because I'm probably gonna forget someone, and then, you know, get upset or something. So you know who you are. There's some great people, especially on the Discord, who, you know, I've been talking to a lot, and yeah, it's great. You guys are epic. So we're gonna just move on. We hit 1,000. That's, you know, I had a goal of hitting 1,000 by the end of the year initially when I first started the channel, and then I changed my goal to 1,000 by the end of November, and then you guys were I just hit it by like a week before the end of November. So you guys just, you know, kudos to you guys. You guys are great, amazing people. So yeah. So yeah, we're gonna move on with the channel, hopefully doing daily uploads again. And we're gonna set a new goal to hit 2,000 subscribers by 2021. That's the next goal that I've set. So by the end of the year, 2,000. My original goal was 2,000 by the end of 1,000 by the end of the year. Now I'm changing it to 2,000. So we're gonna get twice as big. Hopefully that works out. So. Yeah, I did the math, and I believe I need 26 subscribers a day to do that, and that's like a little bit above what I'm currently getting a day, so we're going to have to try and get those numbers up, so I'm going to have to work hard, hopefully, or maybe I'll just get lucky and have a big video that gets like 1 million views or something. Unlikely, but you never know. Yeah, so that's the plan moving forward. Content really shouldn't change. Actually, speaking of content, here's the next thing I want to talk to you guys about. Starting a second channel. Yeah. So, a few videos ago, I said I'm thinking of starting a rocket news series on my Pilot channel. It's going to be like 60 seconds every day, and we're going to do some rocket news. because I didn't feel like there wasn't a lot of daily rocket news, a daily short form rocket news type of stuff going on. Like you have Marcus House and Matt Lown and all those other people who do like 10-20 minute weekly news segment things on their channels, and I think there's the gap in the market, right? I mean, those guys are great, but they don't upload we don't get news every week or every day. So that was my theory. And then I got some comments saying, you don't really want it cluttering up the channel or doing stuff like that. So I figured, let's keep the main channel focused, and I don't want to clutter it up. So the news series is going to be going over to a dedicated channel, and it's going to be longer videos, probably closer to 5 to 7 minutes instead of 60 seconds. It's going to be called Daily Rocket Rundown. There will be a link in the description to the channel if you want to go check it out. Uploads will be hopefully daily, and we'll go over some rocket news. So if that's something you are interested in, that's going to be available. And last thing I want to talk to you guys about that is off topic is basically just some monetization, basically. So today I just looked over at my screen and I actually hit the required milestone, basically, to apply for the YouTube Partner Program, which means I can get monetized. So you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, and I hit that just last night or early this morning. So I just checked my computer and I can actually get monetized now. So that's great. This is actually convenient timing because just a few days ago, YouTube changed their monetization policies. So basically, they're going to start running ads on channels that aren't actually monetized. So the creator is going to get nothing from it, and then YouTube is just going to get all the money, basically, because the creator is ineligible to apply. So it's actually kind of convenient that I get monetized now, because it's not like, oh, there's going to be ads in my videos, but there's going to be ads anyway. So because of YouTube's new program, and you can say what you want about that. I mean, at the end of the day, they're a business and they're just trying to make money. I'm not really going to talk about my opinions on that very much, but I mean, there are plenty of people who are very, very upset about that. It doesn't affect me anymore because I'm not, eligible to be monetized, so it's not really something I have to worry about. And I don't really watch very many small channels. I have been watching a few more. There are some great small channels I want to start promoting on this channel just to try and get some. I don't really have any influence. Really have 1,000 subs. But, there are some great, 200, 300 subscriber channels that I think they need more love. But that's enough about all my rants, because we are coming down on the surface of Minmus, doing our suicide burn landing on the flats of Minmus. Landing gear are deployed, and we are coming down now. And bit of an explosion. Yeah, that thing. When this thing explodes, it explodes. Oh my, yeah. Let's try that again. So, so luckily I had a quick save, so we're just going to come down now. Once again, landing gear are deployed. Kerbals are, for some reason, having a good time. I'm going to retract the solar panels just because it's weird to land with them out. The bottom fins are retracted, and we are looking good. Coming in a little bit slower this time. Yep, a little bit of extra delta V, so I can kind of do a little bit more of a hover maneuver, just so I can make sure we come down as softly as possible. Coming down just nice and slowly now, 3 to 1 meters a second, just hovering a few meters over the ground, and ooh. Bye-bye, big S tail fin. See, I told you we had a contingency one just in case we had a little bit of unscheduled disassembly going on. Looking back at it now, it was really stupid to put the big S tail fin in the back, because there was no way it was ever going to survive. Because they have they don't have an impact tolerance. If you touch them to the ground, they fall off. So I guess those back ones, they were, I don't know, there are memorabilia that we're going to leave on Minmus. And here's the really sketchy part where the nose comes down. And I had Werner engines originally placed on the front, but they need oxidizer, and I used all my oxidizer, so we're just gonna let it smash down. And luckily, this thing is pretty chunky, so it boink. It's it does a little bit of bouncing, but we're down. We made it. Basically, this did take a few attempts. You saw one of the other ones. You saw the most explosive one, but there were ones where the nose would come down, and then half of my wing would just fall off. So and there we go. It's coming down. Surprisingly, it's really actually quite hefty. It really doesn't like to blow up. But there we go. And we can just wait for it to settle down, and we can get Kerbal EV8 out and plant our flag. yeah, so just get the brakes on, make sure it's stopped, and yeah, we will get our Kerbal EV8. Hopefully, there we go. Just a little bit of a picture taking there, and here, Kerbal, where's the Kerbal? And they were just taking more pictures. Pictures are important, and here comes our Kerbal. So now it's going to do some jetpack EVing. I really wanted to get a sense of the scale of this thing, because this thing is really big, and just do a little bit of tricks as we fly through the back fins there, and we can fly underneath it. Pretty cool, but this thing is really big if you look at it like relative to a Kerbal size. Like, this thing is just huge. And then, yeah, there it goes, flying through the wheels and doing a little bit of a Kerbal smashing maneuver. So, hey, this is KSP, isn't it? So now it's going to fly on over and plant our flag. The flag actually is another piece of thing I want to talk about. So much stuff I want to talk to you guys about today. The flag is going to be when I came to hit 1,000 subscribers, I decided let's do some rebranding, because I don't really like my profile picture on YouTube. So I would like to present, in a few days I'll be making this my official pick, but this is the new profile picture. It is very similar to the old one, but it's a rocket, it's Saturn V, and it's a little bit cleaner looking, because my old one was a plane at sunset, and it's kind of weird. So, I'm not really a plane channel, I'm a KSP channel, so I decided to place it with the rocket. So that's the new one. Hopefully you guys like it. Let me know what you think. And it's writing a flag where I say some stuff, and I say, thanks for 1,000 subs. But yeah, thanks for 1,000 subs, by the way, guys. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'll mention it again. Thanks for 1,000 subs. You guys are great. Yeah, and now we can get ready to reVA to the craft. That's as I say. And full disclosure, by the way, guys, before I get roasted in the comments, this thing is not actually full with 1,000 Kerbals. Yeah, sorry to burst your bubble. It would have taken literally hours to fill this thing up with Kerbals, because it was really lagging when I tried to fill it up, and it would have literally taken hours. So, and I really didn't have that much time to film this video. So, it's already 2 days late. So I decided to make some sacrifices for you guys. So now we're just doing our takeoff roll. That's why I landed on the flat, so we get a nice long takeoff roll. And if you can see that mountain ahead, we are actually on course to collide with that mountain, just to the edge of it. So I'm just trying to turn as quickly as possible away from the mountain, because that'd be a really bad situation. And I'm also trying to pull up, but this thing really doesn't like to pull up, because, fun fact, nuclears don't have gimbal to them. So yeah, come on, turn. It's pretty sketchy, but yeah, no, it looks like we're okay. But oh no, it looks like we're starting to get a little bit of a roll, and oh, we're taking flight, and oh, come on, climb. Oh, it's gonna hit back down, and what was that? I got a Discord notification, and oh no, oh boy, that's not good. This thing is really nuts when it crashes. Like, look at that. Look, oh my gosh. That is something. That's why I'm including these crashes, because just look at that. That is just nuts. But we do have a quick save, so we can just cross-fade over to attempt number 2. Or this actually wasn't one of your other failed attempts, but this one is the one that worked. Spoiler alert, right? So, we are now firing the nuclears. I do turn off one nuclear, as you see earlier, just to try and help get us turned away. And yeah, it gets really wobbly here and really nice, and oh my gosh. And then we take off, and then it immediately starts to turn over, and I'm like, oh geez, let's just get in the air. And I get my app set to 2 kilometers, so I'm like, all right, at least we're flying. So then I point radial out just to try and raise our app before we run into more mountains. But they are slowly approaching, so this is my weird, janky ascent that I used to get off of Minmus. It was, I can assure you, it's very weird and very janky. But yeah, now we can do our circularization, head back to Kerbal. There's actually one more thing I did want to say. One last thing, yeah, that I did want to mention for you guys. That I was going to talk about earlier, but I forgot. We're doing a community space station on the Discord, so if you're interested in doing a community space station, it's basically a thing where everyone can submit a module, and then I will take all those modules and I will assemble them into one big giant space station. It'll be cool, like, we all built a space station together. It'll be epic. And then I'll make the craft file public so anyone can, like, if they want to make a video about it, can. So yeah, that's the plan. If anyone wants to participate in that, Discord in the description. It's really cool. Yeah, I think I'll officially start the thing either tomorrow or the next day. You can just skip this portion, obviously, if you're watching in the future and this is over. But yeah, if anyone's interested, Discord in the description. I think it's really cool. It's just trying to get as many people as possible because, you know, more the merrier, right? More modules, more epicness, more lag, right? But yeah, we are now coming back to Kerbin. Now starting our re-entry. This thing can basically take any sort of re-entry. It has absolutely no problem as we continue down. Just doing the one aero brake pass here just because why not, and then we are going to start to come on down. Looks like we're coming down over the desert, and looking like we're kind of spinning out here, and this thing, we are spinning out, obviously, just through 8 kilometers. It looks like we're kind of starting to stabilize here. Well, we're not really, but we do start to stabilize in a little bit. But unfortunately, another spoiler alert. Well, you'll see the spoiler alert in a second. So, as the thing does start to get a little bit more stable, it's never a good sign when the game freezes, is it? We get a very, very big, very, very nasty, big Kraken attack, and the entire thing rips itself apart. So I try to reload my quick save, and it looks like the Kraken is also present at my quick save, because yeah. So there's really nothing I can do in this situation. Yeah, the Kerbals are dead. Yeah, that is a very sad ending. But that's actually not the ending, because I did want to just prove to you guys that I'm not trying to do any sort of shenanigans, and just, oh, hey, isn't that the convenient that the Kraken attack to mask my ability to not mask this plane's ability to not land. So I'm just doing this little flight here to prove that the plane 100% is landable and is able to, it's to land intact. So yeah, just doing this little flight just so I don't get anyone saying, hey, hacker, cheater. I am. Yeah, just proving the plane's legit. It does like Kraken attacks. That very sad ending to the mission. I killed Jeb, and this is like 2 saves in a row. Last time I killed Jeb, I made a new save, and then I just made this save, and Jeb is now dead again. So I'm gonna have to probably make another new save. But yeah, so what we're gonna do for the landing, never actually talked about the landing because we never got to the landing. So landing, you're gonna come down, and then when you get really low to the ground, I'm gonna retract the bottom fins. Once again, just so make sure there's no tail strike or striking of them problems, just so we can actually raise the nose more than like 1 degree up without hitting them. So there we go, coming over the land, not landing on the runway because runways are overrated. There we go, the bottom fins as we come in down for a landing. And not the best landing, but we're down. A little bit of a bounce. Ryanair status, right? But yeah, here we are, and then I hit the brakes. And we do begin to slow down and do a little bit of a drift maneuver, and we may also actually get another Kraken attack here and some stuff blows up. But that was just because of the brakes. Had I not turned the brakes down, that wouldn't have happened. I tested it later, I didn't record. So, yeah. I couldn't be bothered to try it again, but yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. And here's just, I'll put the new thing up just for the end card. So thank you for watching. Next time, please comment this video once again. Thank you for watching. See you next time, and bye.